Today is the 8th of February 2024, and this will be our 49th video on some possible questions. Thank you everyone who has subscribed to our channel, and thank you for the new subscribers. Please, if you haven't considered subscribing, can you please consider and share, like, follow? Okay, I will appreciate it a lot. Please, if the account is not yours, ask permission from the account holder, or ask somebody to help you open your own account. Okay, I think that's the best one, and then you can use that to subscribe. Okay, there are a lot of things I don't know about computers. I'm also learning. Okay, we did the landscape yesterday, so I'll do a few more videos. I'm waiting for comments to see whether you like it or not. If everybody I get more comments around the landscape type of videoing, then we'll continue with that, as long as it helps most of you. Okay, please beware of scammers. On the comment section, you always see, please follow my notes/scripts. These are my notes. I've just done them. Okay, so for instance, if that is 2, that is root 4. Okay, so if the pen is pointing here, it is root 4, and root 4 is 2. So if it comes across as anything else, go by the notes. Thank you very much. Watch last video for recap. Okay, we are looking at questions, past papers. At the moment, we are looking at the higher paper, the non-calculator paper. Okay, so just watch last video. Okay, this will be our 49th video on looking at calculator and non-calculator higher paper. Okay, I might do some of the foundation questions or bring them into the starter, but at the moment I just want to show you how easy it is to pass a higher paper. Okay, so that is it. So watch as many videos as you can to help you. Okay, now our starter today, this is an example of a higher paper, non-calculator. Okay, it sets, and because we'll be doing sets in the next few weeks, after I think after the 50th video, we'll do some topics. Okay, so it's either graph work or sets, depending on which one. Listen, so I feel it will help you. Set questions are easy to answer, I feel. Okay, so I might do the graph work, help you with cumulative frequency histogram, bar charts, and all those before I bring sets. But meanwhile, I'll be putting them in the starter just to help us, so that when we start learning those, we won't it won't be difficult for you to grasp. Okay, so today's question, it says solve 2 root 3 all squared. Okay, now 2 root 3 all squared is the same as 2 root 3 times 2 root 3. So it's like 4 squared, so 4 times 4. Okay, now if you expand, you are going to get 2 times 2 root 3 times root 3. But I did here, okay, root 4 is 2, another root 4 is 2. So 2 times 2 is 4. So root 4, the square root of 4, will be equal to 4. Likewise, the square root of 5 times the square root of 5 will be equal to 5. So here, straight away, the square root of 3 times the square root of 3 is 3. So now you have 2 times 2 root 3 times root 3. So you have 2 times 2 times 3. 2 times 2 is 4, times 3 is 12. Okay, so that is how that is. Now the same type of question, higher non-calculator, solve 2 root 5 all squared. So 2 root 5 times 2 root 5, square root of 5. Okay, so 2 times 2, these 2, root 5 is 5. So 4 times 5 is 20. You don't need a calculator for this. That's why it's in the non-calculator paper. Number 3, solve 2 root 7 all squared. So 2 times root 7 times 2 times root 7. Okay, so root 2 times 2 is 4. Root 7 times root 7 is 7. Okay, 4 times 7 is 28. Okay. Now today we have some interesting questions, okay, to look at. Okay, this is a higher non-calculator paper. Okay, Abigail wants to know the colors of cars in a car park. Okay, Bill wants to find out students' thoughts on school dinners. So Bill can be a teacher or one of the prefects, and they just want to find out whether the school dinners students are happy with it. Chloe wants to test people's reaction to time. So how it can be how consistent they are with time, how they manage their time, okay, whether they are time conscious or not. So that's what Chloe wants to do. Note, I've explained these methods in earlier videos. I think I used status to explain. If you go back and watch the probability videos, you will see a lot of this. Okay, here are 4 data collection methods. Questionnaire. So with questionnaires, you have a set of questions where the person who is taking part in the survey is asked to answer the questions. Okay, controlled experiment is like you are trying to um, control the outcome. Okay, so here you try to so for instance, Chloe will go with a controlled experiment because you are trying to find the reaction of time. Everybody's reaction is different. Okay, so I've just let out a Chloe's method. Observation, so you can do back by counting or just observing how many cars are red, how many cars are black, how many cars are um, green, how many students in year 9 came to school late, how many late comers or how many early students. Okay, by observation. Data logging, okay, that one can also be from the shop. How many things are sold in what section. Okay, I've explained all this. Okay, now the question is, choose the method each person should use. So Abigail, who wants to know the colors of a car in a car park or in an area, she can go with observation. Okay, Bill, who wants to know students' thoughts on the new school dinners or the food served, can go with the questionnaire. You can't just go into people's faces. How do you know? Because it's not everybody who even takes school dinners. Okay, now Chloe wants to test people's reaction with time, so she can go with the control experiment. Maybe, what time do you wake up? What time do you sleep? Okay, when do you arrive at school? So this can be a controlled experiment where you choose a section of the population and then try and find out about their lifestyle and make a conclusion on that. Okay, so this is the first question. If you understand all these methods, then you can adjust, because Abigail wants to know. Okay, she is out in the open. Bill wants to find about people's thoughts. Okay, if you don't say it, they might not say it in your face, but if you give them a questionnaire, they'll be free without their names. They'll be free to write it out for you. Chloe wants to know the reaction. So this is where the control experiment, because people are reacting to something and you want to, so you can control it and find out and get a good result. Okay, now let's go on. We have another set of questions here that I want to go through with you today. Okay, it's also a higher non-calculator paper. Okay, here are 6 quadrilaterals. So they gave you the quadrilaterals, the square. Okay, the square, the kite, that is the square, that is the kite, that is a rectangle, that is a rhombus, okay, not to scale, that is a parallelogram, and that is a trapezium. Now the question here is, write down the names of 3 quadrilaterals that have diagonals crossing right angles. So the first one is the rhombus. Look at the rhombus here. Here. Okay, because it has equal side, okay, but it is not exactly a square, it's a bit slanted. If you put in diagonals, it will meet at right angles. The second one is the square here. Okay, that one we know, we've talked about it several times. And then the third one is the kite. So straight away, our answer is rhombus, square, and kite. The kite. Okay, these 3 shapes have 3 quadrilaterals that have the diagonals crossing at right angles at 90 degrees. Now, the second question. 3 quadrilaterals are square, rectangle, and parallelogram. They've given you that in the question. Okay, they've drawn it for you. Okay, the parallelogram is the odd one out. Give one reason. Okay, so they say give a reason. So one reason means it might get you a mark. So don't go looking for so many reasons. Just give one and go to the next question. So stick to one reason under exam condition. Okay, so you can either say reason 1, it has no right angles, because the square has right angles. Okay, and the rectangle has 2 right angles, not all the 4. Okay, but the parallelogram, this one, none of them are right angles. They are all different. The square, here you are. Okay, you can have 2 right angles, that one and that one, but these are not. Okay, and then the square has all the 4 right angles. Okay, and look at the corners as well. 90-90. Okay, but the parallelogram hasn't got the 90 at the corners. So straight away you've answered that question. So the odd one is a parallelogram. If you examine the corners, it hasn't got a right angle. Okay, and then another reason that you can also state, this is one reason, is that the diagonals have different length. So if you look again at it, the parallelogram, this length is longer than this length. That is the diagonal. But look at the rectangle. The length in the diagonals are equal. So is a square. Okay. Now, so I've answered that question for you. Now, the last thing we can look at is three quadrilaterals are rectangle, parallelogram, and rhombus. Take one property that these three quadrilaterals have in common. Okay, so all four sides the same length. Yes, not quite. All four sides, all four angles equal, not the three of them. Diagonal bisect each other. Okay, let's leave this one out. Two lines of symmetry. Symmetry is like if you divide it into two on both sides, it's equal. But you are talking about rectangle, parallelogram, and rhombus. The only thing, and rhombus, yeah, the only thing that is common at the minute is the diagonals bisect each other. So if you look at the diagram again, okay, apparently we were given these shapes without all this drawing. I had to put in all this. Okay, so look at it. Okay, this bisect, but it's not part of the question. This one bisects, not part of the question. So we are looking at rectangle that bisects, okay, parallelogram that also bisects, okay, and then the rhombus. Here is our rhombus here. It also bisects there. Okay, so the only reasonable answer we can go by here is that the diagonals bisect each other. Okay, these are also higher paper non-calculator questions, because you definitely don't need a calculator. It's like a thinking paper which you can easily do these questions and get the marks, whether it's 4 marks or not. But the question, as you can see, gives you the shapes, and then each of the time they give you 3 shapes, and then you have to give them an answer, which I think if you are good at shapes, you should be able to figure this out. Okay, thank you so much for joining me today's lesson, and I'll see you in the next. Please subscribe, share, like, and follow. And please beware of scammers. Take care of yourself online. Okay, thank you very much.